Hey, what's up YouTube? In this video, I'll be showing you how to make the ultimate modern mansion. In Minecraft, the mansion has a multi-tiered design, meaning it has 4 separate floors. It has a pool and relaxing area. The mansion is incredibly accessible as it has staircases and entrances absolutely everywhere, so you'll never feel as though that you are stuck in one particular place. In the underground level, we have a giant library, a tropical fish tank, a relaxing area. On the first floor, we have a storage area and a dining area. On the second floor, we have a rich people hallway / additional relaxing area. We also have a living room and a bathroom. On the third and final level, we have a storage room and the bedroom. Need I say more? If you are new around here, please do consider subscribing to the channel and clicking the little bell next to the subscription button, as that will ensure that you get all my videos sent directly to your sub box. Without any further ado, let's get started. Just before we begin building my ultimate modern house building friends, here are all of the materials that you need to build your ultimate modern mansion. Please do make sure that you have access to all of those and enough of those materials as well. The amount of ground space required is a 34 by 31 block area on the ground. Please do feel free to make this grid in your world if you are planning out your build. And that's it. Pause the video if you have to. Do make sure that you've got all of that stuff. Make sure you got enough room to make it. Make sure you're ready to live in an awesome house. And once you are, we can begin. Step 1, mansion mates. Come all the way over to the front left hand corner of your grid. That is, of course, if you've built it. If not, bear with me 1 second. And by bear, I mean koala bear with me 1 second. I don't even count backwards from the corner. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is the starting position. Place 3 blocks of quartz on top of it. 1, 2, 3. Go right by 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Join down to the ground. However, take this entire row of 3 here and extend backwards by 2 rows. This is to create a wall. This wall is actually part of a walkway. I want you to place 2 oakwood stairs coming across from the bottom and extending upwards across the wall like this. You can then place a block of quartz on the end of the bottom pair of stairs, extend the quartz upwards by 2, and extend the top quartz backwards by 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I want you to place a black concrete behind that 4th block. And I want you to extend that black concrete to the right by 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I then want you to extend that 7th block 1 row forwards. You can join it down to the ground. And I also want you to extend that block to the right by 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And join it down to the ground. Like so. We are going to take the left hand side here that we connected down to the ground, and we're going to add a few rows on top of it. I literally mean a few, which means 3. 1, 2, 3. Mark out that row by extending a block to the right. Do the same thing again. 1, 2, 3. Mark that block out by going to the right. You can then extend those rows of black so that they are parallel with the previous rows below, and you'll end up with, it kind of looks like a mixture between like an E and an F and a chair. That's the sort of shape that you want to have for now. So additionally, what we want to do is we want to take the middle row here that has the horizontal row of black concrete poking out. We want to extend this backwards by 4 where it connects everywhere. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we want to take the top and we want to extend it backwards by 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I understand that this is a little bit confusing and strange, however, that is all going to make so much sense later on. So once you have done that, ladies and gentlemen, we've actually done a decent amount of the house, because that's a lot of planning. The next thing that we have to do is turn our attention back to the left-hand side of the house. Remember the row of 3 blocks of quartz that we placed earlier? I'm sure you remember it well. On top of the 3 blocks of quartz, I want you to stick another block of quartz on top. I then want you to extend that quartz block backwards by 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then extend upwards by 2. 1, 2. And then this is one of those situations where we have actually created a walkway again. I want you to take the bottom quartz block here in the row and place 2 oakwood stairs going right. Stick a block of quartz on the end, extend the quartz upwards by 2. 1, 2. Extend the second block to the right by 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I want you to flip back over and take the block that you extended to the right and extend it backwards by 2. 1, 2. And then upwards by 4. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Stick a quartz slab on top of it and extend the quartz slab to the right by 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I want you to place blocks of quartz coming downwards. Begin by placing 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can join that forwards. What I also want you to do is I want you to take the block that you just extended down, the block of 5. I want you to place a block of quartz behind it. And I want you to place a row of black concrete going right of that block of quartz. Now, if things have been done correctly, it should join up with the opposite side, like this. Additionally, you can jump the gun a bit and extend the other row of black concrete across to the left. It will go all of the way. Now, it won't actually have anything to grip onto at the moment, but whether you realise it or not, it's very important that those rows are actually lined up and correct. If this connects all together like this, we are certainly on the right track. The next thing that I want to do, and I realise that we've just got a bunch of lines at the moment, is I want to come back to the left-hand side of the build here. I want you to grab yourself the block of quartz, or actually we'll use the quartz slabs, and we're going to extend the roof of this area backwards by 12 rows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And of course we want to do that with every single one of those quartz slabs. Now this is going to be a particular room all by itself. If you take note from the start of the video, this is actually a storage room. And this is the roof that we are just extending. Now once you have extended backwards all of the slabs, you want to grab your block of quartz. And you want to extend the left and right corners down to the, well, down by 5 blocks of quartz each. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can even join them together at the bottom as well. Perfect. I want you to take the bottom left hand corner area here, which is this block of quartz, and I want you to extend it to the left by 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You can extend that 10th block down to the ground if you like. And I want you to place a row of black concrete directly to the left of it. I then want you to extend the black concrete upwards by 3 additional rows. 1, 2, 3. Just like that. It should actually be as high as the black concrete on the front of the build. Take the 3rd block and extend it towards you, out of the back, by 3. 1, 2, 3. We are then going to extend that black concrete to the left by 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. and then you can extend and connect forwards. Perfect. So, I know that this looks a little bit messy at the moment, but trust me when I keep telling you that we're doing really well here. We're going to focus a little bit on this black area. So, I'm actually going to suggest that you connect the majority of the black concrete down to the ground. We're going to start from the back, and we're going to extend every single one of these back portions of black concrete down to the ground. We can add doors and windows in later. I'll actually let you guys decide, and I'll make suggestions where you would like to actually place windows and doors. I'll give you some suggestions, but you'll be able to add them where you like as well. So that entire back part is filled in. But what we also have to do is we have to add a bit of black concrete coming from the front. And what I'd like to do is I'd like to extend this middle floating black concrete block backwards by about 5 rows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I'd like to connect it up and also down. So we're kind of creating what you would call a partition. Additionally, you want to fill in this lower area of black concrete as well. So you should have something which should look a little bit like this. That's what we should have at the moment. It'll actually look a little bit different when we get round to it, but that's what we want to have so far. Okay, so I want you to place a block of quartz in the upper left hand corner space here. I want you to extend this block of quartz outwards by 1, and I want you to extend it to the right by 9. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Just like that. And then you can place a black concrete on the inside of this, and you can then join it down to the ground. So we're creating a little bit of separation here. As a matter of fact, that is going to be what you might call a back entrance into the house. We'll be adding all of that stuff later. But I am just going to recommend that for the moment, you do just fill this in. Now, this area that we have created here, right now, we cannot progress until we dig out a lot of the area that we have here. So, I'm going to mark out this area for us, and then we can dig it out, and then we can start adding mass details around the house. So, the first thing that I'm going to recommend that you do is come towards the front of the build, and take the black concrete area, the bottom right hand corner of this black concrete area, and we're going to dig in the ground forwards towards the grid. So if you've not made the grid, you have to dig 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. If you've not made the grid, if not, just dig to the end. Replace it with block of quartz, the area that you dug out. Then when you get to the end of the row of 12, we have to dig to the right by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and fill that in with block of quartz. And additionally, what you then have to do is you just have to dig backwards from that row of 8, and you just have to dig back and connect to the black concrete at the back. Like as far back as the house goes is where you've got to dig out. Now, you might be thinking to yourself, TSMC, what are we even doing here? Why are you marking this area out? And I'll tell you what, I'll even just for a visual representation, we're going to dig this out too. All of this rectangular area here has to be dug down. Now, I can only dig down so many rows because I'm in a super flat world, but this is how far you have to dig down, at least. You can go lower, but then, I mean, you're building your own build. But you have to dig out 1, 2, 3, 4. You have to dig 4 rows down in total. Except, of course, not only do we just dig 1 block out, we have to dig all of those blocks out. So once that has been done, this is what the area should look like once it has been 100% dug out. Well, I mean, yours probably won't look like this. I'm in a super flat world, so of course I just have the dark empty void below me. So you'll probably be looking at something a little bit more pleasant. But this is what 4 rows dug down should roughly look like. Once you have dug out all that area, however, I will recommend that you take out your oak wood planks and fill out the bottom level of the hole that we have dug. Fill it out using oak wood planks or a different material of choice. I'd recommend oak wood planks though, it contrasts nicely against everything else. Something else that I will also be doing is digging out all of the grass walls or dirt walls or whatever it is that you also have. And I will be replacing all of the walls with block of quartz just because it looks nicer. So we'll be taking this half of the build and turn it into something that looks a little bit more like that half, and of course that will look, this is what it will look like once that area has been completely filled in. But now that it's done, we can focus more on the structure of the house. I want you to grab your black concrete, and I want you to place a black concrete in these 2 areas. I want you to place a black concrete here and here. This is 1 row inwards underneath the row of quartz block that we placed a little bit earlier. I want you to join the black concretes together, and then I want you to take the left and right side and extend outwards by 3. 1, 2, 3. And 1, 2, 3. Join the first row together and the third row together. Like this. You can even fill the top of this in, by the way, with some light blue glass if you like. Now, the point of this area is for us to then extend it down the corners and hit the ground. This will take a moment or two since we have kind of dug into the ground a little bit. We're making a shape, and this shape is going to look really cool once it's done. So you now have something which should look like this, and you can fill the sides of this shape in using your black concrete. Now, we are going to be adding glass to it, but I am going to recommend that you just kind of throw caution to the wind. Just fill the entire thing in with black concrete, and then you can kind of customize it a little bit later on. As I mentioned, this house, there's so many different ways that you can lay out the windows and add small details using quartz and all of that fun stuff that really, I mean, you can make your own customization. So I'll be recommending things later on, but this is what we're going to just be doing now. So we just have something which should look like this. It's kind of just like a big black cube of some sort, really. So what we have to do is we have to extend the block of quartz that overhangs the area down. Extend this block of quartz down by 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then extend the 7th block to the right by 4 using quartz slabs. 1, 2, 3, 4. We actually want to extend the quartz slabs around the back of the build like this, and it will actually connect to a block of quartz that will be on this corner. The quartz slab will extend to the corner, and then the block of quartz will extend down, and then there will be a wall of block of quartz here, and just a row of quartz slabs, kind of like this. What you can also do is you can extend the block of quartz upwards at the back here to join back to the top, if that makes sense. It makes a bit more of a cleaner look. And additionally, we want to extend this corner down as well. So this is the kind of shape that we have. It's a little bit weird, but I find that it's a really cool shape. I really like it. So now that you've done that, in terms of windows, I actually like the idea of having a long window coming up the front of the middle of this shape, maybe starting here, and it's just going to be filled in using some light blue glass, so it really creates a nice contrast. So if you just kind of like knock out the middle row like this, and you just place a little bit of light blue glass just like so, it just looks really cool like that. So this is actually going to be an entrance, this area here. The door's going to sit right here, just on the left. And we're just going to have like a little small window here as well. Of course, do feel free to customize where you think might be necessary. Additionally, this area down here is going to be accessible at the front of the build and the back. So I'm going to recommend that you knock out these 2 blocks of quartz here, specifically these ones. And you create an oak staircase leading down, and place a block of quartz on the sides of the oak stairs. And we're also going to have the same thing on the back. So at the back, this is actually going to be a back door right here. I can even place the doors for you. There you go. And then we're just going to have a row of oakwood stairs leading up to the back entrance. And that's pretty much all there is to it there. So you can see the house is very accessible. There's 3 entrances just to this right hand side of the house that we're looking at. As we are working on this part of the house, I'm also going to recommend that towards the front of the build, you fill in these upper areas, these 2 kind of like empty weird shapes, fill them in using light blue stained glass pane. That's what they were meant for. They're meant to be kind of like funky windows. Since this house is very 3D, and by 3D I mean there's like a lot of depth and a lot of levels, like it's really cool to see windows that wrap around the side of the build like this. What you can even do, which is something that I didn't think of right now, is perhaps to create a color contrast. You could dig below this black area and delete the quartz wall, and it might actually look quite cool. Yeah, I quite like that. That's nice. That's a different kind of separation. It might look cool for the actual area to like be embedded downwards. So something else that we have to do is we kind of just have to establish what this area is here. So we're going to use block of quartz, and we're going to place a row of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 quartz block here to create a wall. And from this 5th block, we're actually going to dig to the left in the ground like this. Perfect. And that should just connect over to that opposite side here. And the point of this area is I'm just going to place a row of quartz slab in it, and then this end block a quartz block, and this is just going to mark out the pool area, you see. And what we can then do is we can like dig forwards from the end of the row that we dug out, and we can join it all the way over to the right side here. So you can see that the houses, the outer borders are quite rectangular, but that means that everything does kind of slot together quite in quite a satisfying way. So for instance, like you can place a row of block of quartz here on the left, and then you can kind of finish off the rest of this area with a row of light blue glass pane. And then this area behind us, this is actually going to be a relaxing area, kind of. It's got some like sunbeds, and it obviously gives you access to the pool. So I'm just going to dig out the immediate area here, just underneath all of the black concretes and stuff. And I'm going to place oak planks in here as well. A lot of this house, a lot of the charm comes from creating contrast between a lot of the areas, like so. And then we will be digging this area out as well. This is going to be a pool, but we don't have to strictly dig it out right now. I just kind of want to take the top layer of grass off of it, just so that you kind of get the gist that this is kind of like a little bit of a pool area. I'm going to extend this quartz row here to the right and connect to the black concrete area like this. I'm going to connect the blocks of quartz next to the staircase down to the ground. This area is a window area, so if you simply connect the black concrete downwards, and then you can use either glass block or pane or what have you, and you can create a window here. Bear in mind that you're probably going to want to place an additional row of black concrete behind it, just so that it slots together. I like the idea of having a double door here, so I'm just going to dig out another row into the house and place a double door like that. That's looking good. And then I'm going to create a separation using black concrete, connect the bottom together, and place a glass pane. So you can see that area looks quite nice as it is. You don't really have to finagle with that area too much. I think that it would be beneficial from this point for us to establish some more walls around the house so that we can place doors. But as we are working on the lower level, this area of block of quartz can be kind of completely filled in for the moment. We'll be working on this little square later on. When it comes towards the back of the house here, I want you to extend a row of block of quartz. So like here, I want you to extend this bottom row of block of quartz here backwards, all the way back along the outline of the build. And as a matter of fact, for those of you that haven't built the outline, my bad, let me explain it in a better way. If you've not built the grid, I want you to come towards the back of the build, and I want you to take this block of quartz here that kind of is intersected in a few different directions. I want you to extend the block of quartz down to the ground, like so, right? And then place 2 oakwood stairs, 1, 2, moving outwards towards the end of the house, and stick a block of quartz on the end of it. This back area here is kind of interesting, so we're actually going to dig in the ground here, and we're going to connect the block of quartz that hit the ground over to the left. This is an entrance. This is a back door. You can dig out a couple of rows, and you can place a double oakwood door here if you like. Also, additionally, if you like, you can place windows and stuff in here as well, so don't be shy when it comes to like placing windows around the house. You can use glass block or glass pane. It doesn't really matter where you place them as long as you're happy with the placement of them. So like you could have some on the side here, for instance, and you could even have them parallel to the opposite side. Additionally speaking, I want to completely fill this back wall in here using some block of quartz like this. Perfect. I'm going to dig in the ground as well where we have the oakwood stairs, and I'm just going to connect the back entrance to the right. So the house, really, you can travel the entire width of the house. You can go all the way around it quite easily, which is a huge component to this house. I want you to fill in this wall here using block of quartz. So just basically like front to back, I just want you to fill this wall in with block of quartz. It's going to be walled off anyway, as you might have seen at the start of the video. It will have an entrance, but it is quite a firm wall, like this. But in making that firm wall, what you can do is you can extend the black concrete here, backwards, and you can join it down just 1 row away from the block of quartz, and you can create a black concrete wall here. This is how we're building up rooms at the moment. So you can see that all of these areas extend backwards. We can connect the front of the house and the back of the house together like this. So you kind of have like a big T shape like so, and then from the back, I mean, you can just see kind of like an empty canvas. But you can more than happily add windows here, so maybe if you start from like the right and you just like leave a block every so often, you can maybe add like a set of 4 windows. You can't really do 5, but I'm sure that you could find a way in which that'd, you know, please you in such a way to look at. The above area here, I'm going to place quartz slabs around the top of the empty area. So this is what I am going to call a skylight. It's actually a bedroom area. This is where the master bedroom is. It has access to a few different balconies, and you can also escape the entire house up here. So I'm placing quartz, that's the wrong block, I'm placing quartz slabs, and I'm sticking some light blue glass block all in between, just like this. Perfect. That's looking quite good. This area here on the right, you can choose to fill in the top of it with glass, which I would recommend, by the way, because the way that I have the house set out, this area here, you're not going to approach the ceiling. It's actually quite a high-ceilinged room in particular. So I guess that we have inadvertently created all of the roofs of the house by doing that. So now that you have done that, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to come back to this point. I know. And we are now going to extend the block of quartz here on the front of the build. Now this, I know that it seems as though we've went off on a tangent, but this block of quartz here on the front of the build, if we extend this backwards and round and then down to the block of quartz that we placed earlier, we will make a walkway, a staircase of sorts. You want to fill the outside of it in. You're more than welcome to add windows and maybe even more entrances if you want to later on, but this is how you get down and up the left side of the house. Like if you want to go, say, straight from the front to the back, but you don't want to actually go inside the house, this is a good way to do it, this particular like avenue here. We want to add a wall in here as well. So I'm just going to add an entire quartz wall to actually... No, I'll tell you what, yeah, I'll add an entire quartz wall to the side because the wall is actually different from the front and the back, believe it or not. So an entire row of quartz wall here, and I can show you where you can place entrances and such later on. Now, this has to be filled in. I'm going to give it a floor. It's going to be made out of oak wood planks. You are more than welcome to use any other material. But this entire build is kind of themed around oak, black and white. But I mean, birch would look good too, grey would look good, orange, whatever colours you like. But it's important that the oak is there. What's also important is that that oak floor extends outwards. So what I mean by that is if we add in a couple more rows of stairs here, the stairs will come all the way up here, and the oak wants to extend out. So it's almost as if you're walking like here to here, like you want to be able to walk straight out. And we also want to add a staircase here as well. The oak wood staircase comes up about as far as this. Now, of course, we are going to have to fill in these gaps as well. So, I mean, I'll add in an entire wall of quartz, but you can even like use this little bit here behind the staircase to create, say, like a hidden room or something. I opted not to do that in this tutorial, but you are more than welcome to. And of course, actually, I filled the little side of the staircase in here too, as well, whilst I'm looking at it. So now you can see that we kind of have like an avenue for, once we filled this in with oak wood planks too, we kind of have like an avenue to get up and down. That's how that all connects together. So when it comes to the front and back of this particular area that we're looking at here, I want you to place a row of light blue glass pane underneath the quartz slabs at the top. I want you to place quartz slabs underneath the pane, and I want you to place black concrete behind the slabs. I'm going to extend the black concrete down on the left, down on the right. I'm going to have a doorway here on the left, black concrete next to the door, and then I'm going to join that together. It's quite a common door that I like to use. I like this setup. Door, space, small window. It's a weird thing to like, but I really do like it. I use it in a lot of builds, actually. Anyway, we're going to fill this little window in here, and we're going to place glass around this balcony. As you can see, it makes quite a nice feature of the house. So, flipping over to the back, we're not going to have a balcony here, but what we are going to have is the same glass, the same quartz slab, and then the black concrete here. So, black concrete raining down. It's just going to be empty black wall, pretty much. We want to be able to get into this part of the house. So, anywhere along here, it really doesn't matter where, honestly. Like, feel free to add an entrance, and feel free to make it look a bit fancier if you like. So, how can you make it fancier? You can make it a 3-block wide entrance if you like. You can perhaps add a row of quartz slab coming across the top. You can add an oak door behind like this. Dig out those quartz. And then what you could do is you could place some black concrete next to the door, and then some glass pane around the top. And then you'd also want to gain access, by the way, to this particular part of the house as well. So just to kind of like prelude that. That's quite a cool looking entrance. And then, I mean, it goes without saying that you can create windows or, you know, what have you, if you so choose. Now, I don't actually have windows because I have stuff in this room, but I don't have stuff in this version. So, you know, you can make it look quite cool if you so choose. You could use some quartz stairs and all sorts. So, that's about how much of the house we have built right now, which is a huge amount, of course. But now that we have done that, that actually opens us up to doing a little bit more. So, you know where we have these oak stairs here towards the front of the house? We kind of want to place oak planks everywhere along that same plane. Meaning, these oak stairs here, we want to place oak wood planks here. And also here throughout the entire house, literally horizontally all the way through the entire house. And that will look, once you've done it, because it's going to be a little bit time consuming, that will look. Now this is what the entire area will look like once it has been filled in with oak wood planks. This is quite important because it's a full floor. The only place that you're actually not going to want to place the oak wood planks as you come across is where we have the glass area. That's the only place where you can't place the oak planks, as if you can see, like, it'll join to the glass and it will look a bit, well, messy. But other than that, you will have successfully added an entire floor to your house, which is very, very important, of course. Now, once you have successfully added that floor, that allows us to add some more stuff. So for instance, here on the left, where we have this quartz area, you can join this quartz area down to the ground. And you can even create an entire wall inside of the house as well. So that's what I'd actually recommend. It'll help you split up rooms out inside of the house, like this. You're more than welcome to add some windows to this in any sort of way that you like, but it's a nice odd number, so you can just place like a trio of windows, if you so choose. So what else can we do? Well, you can add some quartz slab across the top of this black concrete area here. That's not a bad look. We can add a double entrance to this area, but that just means extending the black concrete down here on the left, adding a double door of oak wood, black concrete here to the right, and then we also want to join just this corner down as well, because it'll connect to it here. And then we can place just some glass pane, glass block, glass whatever, or maybe not even glass. I mean, you could just leave it blank if you wanted to. Then you could have like a nice big window here. And additionally, if you wanted to, you could then have a double oak wood door here, just for more accessibility, just here on the right. So something like that would actually look quite good. Additionally, this upper area here is a little bit weird, and I'll explain why. So first of all, let's just connect the entire black concrete area down, right? Let's create a solid area like this. And by the way, this is another good way to create a wall inside of the house, like a nice natural wall. You can continue extending the black concrete blocks down into the actual house, and this is actually some of the way that I devised where the rooms would go on the inside of the house, which we just saw at the start of the video. I'm realizing quickly that we don't have a floor here. So let me explain where the floor is going to go. I'm going to extend this black concrete here backwards a couple of rows here at the top. The reason is so that we can then extend the black concrete down like this to create like a solid wall. From the outside that'll look great. But we also want to have an interior floor. The interior floor will flow naturally from this area that we worked on earlier into here. This is like a bedroom area, and you'll also have access to a balcony. I'm using oak wood planks for this, but you're always more than welcome to refloor it in any such way that you want in the end. Like, you can use block of quartz, you can use the, you can do whatever you like. But I'm starting off just by using oak planks because it's a nice warm interior material. Quartz would look good too though. I mean, most things would. So from the outside, from the inside, we've now got like a fully functional inside, but from the outside we kind of have just like a blank space here. Well, what we can do is we can grab the block of quartz, and here on the right, just one row backwards from the quartz slab, we can place 1, 2 quartz blocks, quartz slab on top, extend the slab to the left by 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then join down like that, and it creates quite a cool feature. Connect that to the back of the build here. Place a little bit of, will glass pane fit in here? I think it will, won't it? Yeah, perfect. So if we place a little bit of glass pane in here, and also a little bit of a window here, then you get quite a cool little walkway that will lead you into this part of the house. And you can give it windows or anything that you like as well, but something like that will actually look really, really good. And ladies and gentlemen, we're quickly, I don't know whether you guys realize this, you might not, we're rapidly getting towards the end of this tutorial. We've made a huge amount of this build. As a matter of fact, I think that most of what we have to take care of is kind of garden area. So I just wanted to take a second to point that out, to be honest, ladies and gentlemen, because I mean, we've put a lot of work into this house, and I just wanted to say well done. Anyway, let's work on this left area here, because it's quite an interesting area, this kind of grassy area, right? First of all, we want to have a path that leads from these oak stairs to the boundary of the house. We already know where the boundary is because of the glass and quartz to the right of us. You can just place a double oak walkway in here. Now, I'm going to have a wall partitioning this area off. It's going to leave 2 blocks away from the front of the house here alone. I'm going to dig to the left, leaving a double gap, and then I'm going to dig towards the front here. So I should actually also mention that this wall here, I'm going to dig in the ground, and I'm going to connect it left in a right angle to the actual corner of the house. It's kind of where we first started actually, so kind of in this sort of fashion. Then if you place a little bit of light blue glass on top of the quartz like this, and then we want to create a walkway around. That's why I was like leaving a double block gap around the outside, but I don't think that I kind of like explained why. So that's sort of the area that we're looking for, right? I'm going to dig out this left side of grass and the front here, and I'm just going to place quartz block around it, because this isn't just an ordinary area, okay? If you place oakwood stairs here, where the corner of quartz block is, and you dig down, all the way down, not all the way down, probably about 3 or so rows down, as far down as we dug on the other side, and then you place oakwood stairs, 1, 2, and then that'll be it. You just need like 2 oakwood stairs, and then if we place a little bit of oakwood planks here, perfect. And then we just want to dig out the wall here on the left and the right of us, of course, just like this. Perfect here. And then also here as well. Very nice. And then this here is actually going to be an entrance as well. Like, this is actually going to take us in. I'm sure if you watch the start of the video, if you're here, you probably watched the start. That takes us into the underground of the house. And we just have to place some oakwood planks around this part here. The oakwood planks, of course, are just a walkway that take you all the way around. And then this area here, I mean, let's do a little bit of gardening. Why not? A little bit of oak leaves, a little bit of flowers, whatever it is. I'm just placing a little bit of flowerage and a little bit of leafage, just to kind of add a bit of green to the area. But that's like a perfectly nice looking area. That looks great. This next area here is going to be a pool. Now, this is very, very simple. I don't think that I have to describe it too much. All we got to do is we've got to dig out a pool as deep as you want it to go. I'm only going to be digging it probably about 2 rows down. I'm going to dig 2 rows down. I'm going to place a block of quartz around the border, red glazed terracotta inside of it, and then water buckets inside of that to create the water, and that'll look. And once you've done all of that, you will end up with something that should look like this. This area connected to the pool is a relaxation area. So that requires us to build a couple of sunbeds. I'd recommend just coming in from the corner of the area here, the oak wood corner. You place a quartz stairs, quartz slab in front of it. Or maybe we'll even make it a little bit closer to the pool. So maybe like come in diagonally and then like forwards 1. Then we'll leave a gap of 1, place an oak fence, gap of 1. We place quartz stairs, quartz slab, extend the fence upwards. We place some quartz slabs around the top. You guys will have seen me make these 1,000 times. And we are going to place on top of the quartz slabs alternating beds. So whites, reds, whites, red. Stick something in the middle, quartz slab, quartz stair, whatever will do really. And we will have a nice... There we go. a nice little relaxation area. The only thing that might sort of finish off this little area is a little bit of leaves just to the right, and that looks quite relaxing. Now, that leaves this area down here. You may have noticed that this area looks a little bit empty, so what I'm going to recommend is maintaining a distance of 2 from where the stairs begin and from where the entrance is here, maintaining a distance of 2. And additionally, maintaining a distance of 2 so that you can walk around it, I would create a barrier using some block of quartz just like this. Just like that. I'd recommend digging out this little area here, so all of these oak planks, we're going to dig it out and we're going to place some grass inside of it, or dirt, or, you know, you could even use fake grass being any green block that's not grass. Could even use slime, although your grass would look a little bit radioactive. So a little something like this. And then you can put poppies, flowers. Poppies are my favourite, and we've kind of got like a little red theme as well, kind of like tinted onto the house. And then some leaves inside, and that's just like a nice, pleasant looking area. Additionally, I do find that this area here would benefit a little bit if we just add a little bit of grass and just like a couple of bushes, so you can just have like a fence, couple of bushes on top, and then maybe some poppies, or maybe you could even have, you know, maybe something like that would look good. Just something to add a little bit of colour to the area, and you really don't have to do that to anywhere else. Now, the house, ladies and gentlemen, is actually 100% operational. The entire outside of the house is operational. The only thing that I'm going to recommend that you do here is, if you are looking to make the interior of the house, if you're looking to do the floor and what have you, then you're going to have to dig out the ground floor level here. So you're going to have to dig out the ground floor level. So all this grass here, I'm going to dig it out, and I'm going to replace it with oak planks. So this is what the floor will look like once it has been 100% fully filled in. But also, there is more as well if you do plan on utilizing the lowest level of the house. If you come over to the left-hand side of the house and come down the stairs, you'll notice that you're greeted with a dirt wall. Well, we have to dig out the entire area here. The only good part about this is, if you're not in a super flat world, you can dig it as far down as you like, and you can create quite a deep cellar. But other than that, just this entire area has to be dug out, and the floor has to be filled in, and the walls have to be filled in, and, well, that will look eventually a little something. Now, this is what the entire basement area will look like once you have dug it out and refloored and rewalled it. It's a huge area, so you're definitely going to want to take advantage of it. And believe it or not, that is it, ladies and gentlemen. Once you have figured out exactly how to dig out all of the floors, what materials you're going to use, all of that fun stuff, how you figured out how you're going to lay out your house, you will actually be 100% done and ready to furnish the area. We should all hopefully be looking at something that should look exactly like this. A fantastic, awesome, ultimate modern mansion. I do hope that you guys enjoyed this tutorial. If you did, please do remember to subscribe to the channel if you're new around here, and make sure to click the little bell next to the subscription button. That'll ensure that you get all of these tutorials sent directly to your sub box. And if you would like to make any more modern mansions by me, please check out the card system, the description below, and the top of the comment section. I may even leave some other stuff there for you as well. I've been making a lot of city builds, some wooden, some survival, tree houses, all sorts of stuff for you. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate all of you very, very much. I love you all, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye!